Let's talk about 5 things I wanted to mention about what we're trying to do, whatever we want, whatever you want to do in life, whatever you're pursuing, whatever your goal is. These are things that I learned by experience, and I wanted to pass it on because I think it's some of them are not gonna be very nice, because I like to say the things as they are. I like I like to talk about the real life, okay? And you're gonna notice that in this video. The first one is, um, if you're the kind of person that believes that, okay, I'm gonna have faith, I'm gonna leave to God that things happen, and I believe that they're gonna happen. Unfortunately, in my experience, most things don't happen just because, like, okay, it's my faith or God is gonna give it to me. I'm a Catholic. I grew up with the Catholic religion. My mom was a very, very strong devotee of the Virgin Mary, and I went to a Catholic school, and I grew up with all the beliefs of the Bible and Jesus and all that, and I still believe in God, but I have to say that I'm far from being as religious as I was as a kid. Now, what I'm saying is, one thing that I noticed is that whenever I felt like God or whoever you believe is gonna help you is gonna do things for me, because okay, well, God, I'll do some, and then God is gonna do the rest. I noticed that I kept that in the back of my mind, so I wouldn't take as much action as I needed, because I always felt like, okay, I'm just gonna do some, or I'm gonna do my best, and I know it's gonna happen because Jesus is not gonna let me fail on this. And the truth is, real life is that's not true. Simply as simply as that. Sometimes things are gonna happen, but I would say, don't leave it to faith or God or whoever you believe, because you're probably gonna limit your action. You're probably gonna limit how much effort you're gonna put on it. I'm not saying stop believing. I'm just saying make sure that you're doing as much as you can, and you're not leaving too much to that higher power that you're hoping that will help you in the end. Number 2, you're not gonna get anything. Don't ever think that you're gonna get something because you deserve it. Don't ever think that life or karma or Jesus or Buddha or the universe or whoever you believe in, is gonna give you what you want because you deserve it, because you've been working hard, because you're a good person. It just doesn't happen like that. Sometimes you get things even without deserving them, and sometimes you get things and they were very well deserved. But it's not gonna deserving, it's pretty much non-existent, and remember, I'm talking my experience, but if you read a lot of stories of people that have been successful, and you read stories about people that have worked really hard and have not been successful, it had nothing to do, the deserving factor had nothing to do with the result. The third one, and to me the most important, and the thing that you really, this is hard to digest, but you got to drill this in your head. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, there is no guarantee of success. Life is full of people that work really hard, and they didn't get what they deserved. They didn't succeed as they thought, as you think they should have. Life is full of people that work super hard, and they ended up not qualifying to the Olympics, not qualifying to the professional tournaments of any sport. It's full of athletes. It's full of people that studied really hard and never make it big in business. It's just everywhere. We just hear the stories of the people that are ultra successful, but we don't hear the stories of the people that work. And believe me, the stories of the people that are very successful in percentage compared to the stories The number of stories out there of people that work really hard and never made it, it's simply uncomparable. You cannot even compare. You're gonna find millions of stories of people that work really hard and never made it. Some of them not even close. And my story is one of them, working really hard to become a world-class tennis player, far from being that. And I work really hard. And like my story, there are millions around the world. Point number 4. There's probably something that you've been chasing for a while. You've been working to pursue that goal for 5 years or 10 or 15. We have to get to the point where we have to be mentally clear and enough of, you have to have your mind clear enough to recognize when, simply put, sometimes we're just not good enough to be the person we want to be. Again, I can use my example. I work really hard. I played tennis ever since I was 7 years old. Practice. I play juniors, I play college, I play professional, but I never played professional in the US and never made it to the top 100 in the world. Nothing, nowhere near like that. And that's what I wanted to do. And my entire life, up until I went to college, I work hard for that every single day, working and training tennis, and you try your hardest, but sometimes you say, you know what, I'm probably not good enough, or it's probably that I probably didn't take it as seriously as I should. But sometimes we're trying to do something that we have to say, you know what, I'm not good enough. If I wanted to be a basketball player, I would have never been a professional basketball player, just to start, because I'm 5'8". Just my height, my height just stops me from having any chance of being a successful basketball player. So you got to have the clarity of mind to say, you know what, I'm probably not good enough. Let's just focus on something else. Let's just move. Okay, find something else. If you look around, don't say, oh, but this is my passion, this is the only thing. Well, that's the only thing you want to do, but you probably haven't put the same passion to look around and see if there is something else that you will like. You gotta learn to say, okay guys, you know what, let's quit, let's move on to something else. And the last one is, life is not gonna give you something because of karma. You give it to yourself. Whatever you get, is good or bad, is you doing that to yourself and doing that for yourself. Is not karma. If you're the kind of person that believes that karma is going to provide, if you're the kind of person that believes that Jesus or the faith or any divinity is going to provide, I am sorry to say it, but real life doesn't work that way. If that would have happened like that, we would not have so many people dying, struggling with the hunger in their countries, or violence, women being raped, and men losing their jobs, and COVID and things like that. That's why I say, please, if you don't want to hit the wall hard, don't leave your destiny, what you want to do, to a deity, to a divinity, to a higher power. I'm not saying don't believe it. Don't keep believing if you want to. I'm just saying it's important that you say, okay, in the end, it's what you do that is really going to dictate what happens in the end. All right. Okay, guys, I hope you like it. I hope it helps. Give me a like, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.